Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Carl, and today's video is for all the brand new permanent residents of Canada. Today I'll walk you through 10 important things you must do after landing in Canada as a PR, or if you're already in Canada after getting your PR status. Now stick around to the end because I'll also share some bonus tips that most people forget but could save you a lot of stress later on. Let's dive in. So first things first, celebrate. Okay, before we get into all the paperwork and adulting and whatnot, just stop and breathe because you did it. Okay, after all the forms, the biometric scans, the medical tests, the wait times, and tracking your application on the IRCC website, after all of that hassle, you're now a Canadian permanent resident. Okay, so go out, have dinner, call family, toast with friends, or just chill and order your favorite food, right? Because you deserve it. This is your win. Now, one question that I want to ask is, how did you celebrate when you got your PR? Share below in the comment section. Okay, so back to business. Now, the next thing you would want to do is to update your SIN number, right? If your old SIN number started with a 9, that's what the people that are already in Canada, if your old SIN number, your SIN number started with a 9, that's a temporary SIN, right? It's no longer valid after you've gotten your PR. So now that you're a PR, go over to Service Canada and apply for a new SIN number, okay? And you need your ECOPR, that's a confirmation of permanent residence, or your PR card if you've already received it. So if you don't have your PR card yet, you just have the ECOPR or the COPR, you can use either to apply for a new SIN number, right? And in addition to that, you need a government issued photo ID. It's free and you get your SIN number right away. Now, let me tell you why this is important. Because for those that are already in Canada, this means that no more work restrictions. You can start building your credit properly, and I'm going to be talking more about that in a few minutes. And your employer and CRA, that's the Canada Revenue Agency, need this to update your tax information as well. Because, there are people that are not even able to open proper investment accounts in Canada until they update their SIN number. Okay, so don't delay on this one. One of the first things that you need to do is to update your SIN number. Now, for those who just landed and they're not already in Canada, you would need to apply to get a new SIN number altogether. Okay, now you can do that even at the airport, right? I know that at Pearson Airport, there are some Service Canada offices there, and you can apply and get it there. It's instant, or you can apply later on. Now, it's also very important for those that just landed as PRs because you need your SIN number to work legally in Canada. You need it to open a bank account. You need it to file taxes, and you also need it to access certain government services. Okay, so like I said, you can go with your COPR and your passport, and you get your SIN number the same day. So do this before you start job hunting, because employees would also even need your SIN number to set you up in their payroll systems. Now, the third thing you need to do is to update your employer and bank. Okay, so let your employer and your bank know about your new PR status. Now, I'm talking about those that are already in Canada. Okay, now it's important because for your employer, they can then update your records. They can remove any LMIA or permit related tracking because that's no longer needed. And then they can handle your taxes accurately. And then also for your bank, it is very, very important because some newcomer or student accounts have limitations. Okay, so now that you are a PR, permanent resident, you may qualify for better credit products. You may qualify for no fee banking, and then you also qualify for PR specific mortgage rates or credit cards, right? If you're looking at getting any of those. Okay, so update your SIN number with both places. It's very, very important. Keep it clean and official. Now, for those who just landed, you would need to open a Canadian bank account. Okay, so you need a bank account to do quite a few things, right? You need a bank account to get paid. You need a bank account to pay your bills. You need a bank account to set up your credit. And like I said, I'll go a bit deeper into the credit system shortly. Now, you can walk into any major bank. We have RBC, we have TD, we have CIBC, Scotiabank, or BMO. and just ask about their newcomer accounts. You know, there are many banks that run some promotions on those accounts, and many of them would offer you maybe no fees for a year kind of banking. They can offer you free credit card with no credit history. You know, some of them can also offer you international money transfers and all of that. You know, there are people that have been able to get even free devices. You know, there are people that were able to get like a free iPad with opening a new account. So just walk into your bank and ask to get more details about newcomer accounts, and, you know, take advantage of those as well. Number 4, you need to apply for a full health card. Okay, now depending on your province, your access to public health care might have been limited or tied to your work permit. I'm talking about those that are already here. So now that you are a PR, you can apply for full health coverage in your province. And for those that just landed from outside Canada, this also applies to you. Just apply for the full health coverage from your province. In Ontario, you can apply for the OHIP, that's the Ontario Health Insurance Plan. In BC, it's the MSP. And then in Alberta, you can go for the AHCIP. Now, what you need to know here is that some provinces give you the coverage right away, but in some provinces, like in Ontario, you would have a 3-month waiting period before you can access the full benefits. So it's better for you to apply early and consider private insurance during the gap. Now, number 5, update your driver's license and ID. Okay, so was your driver's license or provincial ID tied to your temporary status? If yes, then now's the time to update or renew it with your PR info. So in some provinces, getting PR removes restrictions that were tied to your visa. Okay, you might even qualify to move from a G2 to a G. In Ontario, you can exchange your foreign license without extra tests if you have a driving record. So just bring your PR card or ECO PR, proof of address, and your existing license to the local licensing office, that's Service Ontario, and, you know, talk to them and see how you can update your driver's license with your new PR info. Okay, and if that changes anything, then yes, you can take advantage of those as well. Now, number 6, travel outside Canada. Now, one of the things you can do after you get your PR is to travel, because yes, there are no restrictions. You can go and come back at any time, but be smart about it. Okay, you can leave Canada, but here's the deal. If you leave before receiving your PR card, you might need a PR travel document that's called a PRTD to come back. Okay, so when your PR status is confirmed and you have your COPR or your ECOPR, I'm talking about those that are already in Canada, you know, just wait for the PR card before you travel. All right, because if you leave and you know, it's time for you to come back, you might face some difficulties and some extra delays. So if you're still waiting for your PR card, don't travel unless it's urgent. If you've already got your PR card, go ahead. Make sure you track your residency days. We'll get into that in a bit. And, you know, just make sure you're on top of things, because there are people that left before their PR card arrived and they didn't apply for the, you know, the PRTD, and they had to delay returning by over 2 weeks, you know, so you just want to save yourself that stress. Now, number 7 is very, very important. That is, plan for citizenship. Okay, that's one of the things you'd have to do. Plan for citizenship. So now that you're a PR, the next milestone is Canadian citizenship. Okay, but there is a requirement. The requirement is that you have to be physically present in Canada for at least 1,095 days or 3 years. Okay, in the last 5 years before applying. So you have to be in Canada for at least 3 years out of the last 5 years before applying for citizenship. Okay, so you would need to track your time from when you get your PR, especially if you're traveling in and out of Canada. Okay, you can use an app, you can use a spreadsheet, you can use, there are even apps on Google Play Store or on Apple Store that can help you track all those things. Okay, but make sure that any trips abroad that are longer than a few weeks, log them. Okay, even if it's just a few days, you can log them as well, right? So use these apps and all those things to log them, because when it's time to apply for citizenship, you would need to submit proof that you were actually here or you were in Canada for that number of days that is required, Now, there are people that choose not to go to the next step, that is getting Canadian citizenship, and that is fine. And in the next sections, I'm going to talk about the requirements for those people as well, because there are certain requirements that you need to meet to maintain your PR status. Okay, so you might want to stay tuned to the very end of the video. Now, number 8, I'm going to say relax. You're finally settled. Okay, so you made it. No more permit renewals, LMI headaches, or worrying about, status expiry, right? If anything, you just have to, renew your PR card, not your status, right? So you can now apply for long-term jobs now that you have your PR status. You can plan for education. And in terms of education, now that you have your PR, you qualify for local fees. So if you're, looking to go back to school for a master's program or something like that, go back to university, you will not be required to pay international fees because you have the PR card. You will also be eligible for local fees. So keep that in mind as well. You can also sponsor your family. You can start your life with stability, right? So take a breather. It's okay to pause, soak in the fact that that chapter is behind you. Now, number 9, and you want to pay attention here. Don't do anything that risks your status. Okay, because if we're going to be very real here, you can lose your PR status. Okay, so PR is not the same as citizenship, right? So you can lose your status if you commit a serious crime and if you fail to meet residency requirements. That's why I said previously that you need to track your PR, because there are residency requirements. So don't skip this. Don't just have your PR card and be traveling, you're not tracking anything. Don't do that, because as a PR, you need to spend at least 730 days in Canada every 5 years. Okay, let me repeat that. You need to spend at least, that's the minimum, at least 730 days in Canada every 5 years to maintain your status as a PR, as a permanent resident. Okay, and that's roughly 2 years, right? So the good thing here is that it doesn't need to be continuous, right? It doesn't need to be continuous. So if you're here for 6 months and away for another 6 months, you were back again for 3 months and all of that, make sure that in 5 years, when all of that is added up, it sums up to a minimum of 730 days. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can leave Canada, but make sure that you're tracking your time inside Canada and outside Canada, right? So that when it is necessary for you to prove it, you already have everything you need. Again, like I said, you can use apps like the PR card tracker, Canada residency days calculator. All these apps are on Play Store, Google Play Store, and Apple Play Store. Try to use some of these. It makes life very easier later on. Okay, so make sure you're on top of things. Now, another thing here that could make you lose your PR status is providing false information to IRCC. So don't do anything shady. Okay, after you get your PR, don't do anything shady. Be on top of all your info, because mind you, you'll be applying for citizenship if you're interested in that. So don't do anything shady. If you wouldn't do anything as a citizen, don't do it as a permanent resident. Okay, always keep your immigration paperwork updated and stored safely. You can make copies of your COPR, your PR card, even your travel history. Just have documents so that they are handy when you need them. And number 10, make sure you enjoy the freebies, that are available for new PRs. Okay, you've earned your PR, and guess what? There are some perks that come with it, right? First of all, there's the Canoe app. It's free for PRs and citizens, and it gives you some access. You get close to about a year free access to national parks, museums, and cultural attraction sites. So you can sign up within your first year of landing or after you get your PR status in Canada. Now, there are also some bonuses for Parks Canada. So you get free admission to some places like, Banff, Jasper, and some other historic sites as well. So let me know in the comment section if you've tried the Canoe app or visited any Canadian park with your PR perk. Let me know in the comment section. Now, like I promised, some few bonus tips. So tip number 1, make sure you build your credit ASAP. Okay, so even if you're not borrowing money right now, you need to start building credit history in Canada. It is very, very important. Anybody that's in Canada will tell you you need to build your credit history. So apply for a newcomer credit card or a secured credit card, whichever one works. Use it monthly. Make sure you are responsible and you pay off the balance before it's due. Okay, do not just take the credit card and think that it's free money. Credit cards are not free money, so keep that in mind. So use it monthly, pay off the balance, and it helps you to get better deals later for car loans, mortgages, or even when you're retiring. So along the line, if you're very diligent with paying off your credit card balance and all of that, it helps you to get better lending rates when you're looking to get a car loan, you're looking to get a mortgage and all of that. So make sure you spend responsibly. For example, Scotiabank, RBC, and CIBC all offer newcomer credit cards with low or no annual fees and welcome bonuses. So, just take advantage of those, okay? Another bonus tip here is to set up your CRA My Account. Okay, that's the Canada Revenue Agency My Account. So that is your account and it's your gateway to filing taxes, to getting GST and HST credits, or receiving the Canada Child Benefit if you qualify. So if you want to sign up for that, go to the CRA website, click on My Account and follow the steps. You need your SIN number. So we've already talked about that, right? So you need your SIN number, your address, your tax info, if you filed before. If not, you can skip that for now, but just make sure that you have that account. That account is going to become very, very, very important when tax season comes around, okay? And make sure you file your taxes on time as well. And that's it. 10 things you absolutely must do after getting your Canadian PR, plus a bonus most newcomers forget. So if you've already done some of these, let me know which one helped you the most. If you're just starting out, drop your questions in the comments. I'm here for you. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who just got their PR. Welcome to Canada. Now go make the most of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.